Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I am your host, Denise. And before I get into my review for this week, I'm going to tell you who my favorite actor is. And my favorite actor this week is the beautiful and talented Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson has made many movies, but two movies where she played totally different characters that I really like. They're two of my favorites are Marriage Story and Match Point. Okay? And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she was nominated for an Academy Award for her performance in Marriage Story. So she is my favorite actor this week. All right, folks, I am now going to get into my review. And my review this week is the movie Sinners. You need to run to the theater to see this movie. Ryan Coogler does it again. And this movie stars Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Miles Caton, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Omar Benson Miller, Delroy Lindo, Wunmi Musaku, Jack O'Connell, and David Maldonado. They are among a laundry list of great actors in this film. So I'm going to try to tell you as much as I can about this movie without giving away, too many pieces that will have you figuring out the movie just like that. But stay with me with this one. So we've got our main character, Michael B. Jordan, is twinning in this movie, and he's twinning very well, playing brothers who have left Chicago. They've left their hometown, Mississippi, gone to Chicago, done some things, okay? And then they return back to their hometown to start anew, but they want to start anew by buying a lot of land, because they come back from Chicago with a lot of money, and they want to build themselves a juke joint for the community. Okay? So in doing so, they have to start literally from scratch. So they've got this land, but they don't have the materials, they don't have the staff, they don't have the food, they don't have the music, they don't have the liquor, they don't have anything. So they've really got to get this thing going from the ground up. Now, when the movie starts, you have their cousin, who is a young gentleman who is a guitar player, and he just wants to get into the rhythm and blues genre, because that's what he loves and that's what he wants to do. His daddy is a preacher, and this movie takes place in 1932. So daddy wasn't feeling his son, living on the edge like that and thinking about music instead of the Lord. So when the movie begins, you see that interaction between this young gentleman and his preacher daddy. But take a look at what this gentleman looks like, because it looks like he's been through something. We just don't know what that is until we do a flashback. Okay? And so once the twins, go into town and they round up any and everybody that can help them get this juke joint off the ground, up and running, that's where they run into the characters who are going to be with them on this crazy vampire journey once that juke joint gets up and running. So as the movie progresses, you know, the juke joint gets up on his feet and he's got it staffed. They've got food. They've got everything they need. And then all, you know what, breaks loose. And so there are two individuals who are guests at the juke joint, but they are not able to gain entry because they looking a little shady. So I'm gonna leave that there. The history of the Mississippi Delta, when you see the Chinese couple, that is not just some Ryan Coogler throwing in a Chinese couple just to make the movie interesting. That is history. So you would have to do a little research on that part. But once the vampires have made themselves known, that juke joint turns into something that is really, really frightening and horrific and strange and eerie and creepy. Everything that you could imagine happened in that juke joint that night. Now, one of the interesting parts about it is that the young cousin, who is the guitar player, once he has his opportunity to get on stage and show his stuff, that juke joint goes through a historic era of music, which I thought was really, really cool. And you will see the juke joint transform into all of those different genres. But again, once the vampire and the devil have made themselves known to the patrons of that juke joint, everything just is crazy. And so I won't tell you who the first victim becomes, but you just have to see it for yourself. You know, one thing I like about this movie, the casting was really refreshing to see, because one of the main characters, who is a woman who has a past relationship with one of the brothers, beautiful Black woman, voluptuous Black woman with natural hair. And that was refreshing to see, because the love interest did not need to be someone that was the perfect size and the perfect shape and the perfect, skin tone or whatever. So I really, really loved seeing that, and seeing other characters in the movie who were dark skinned and had natural hair. And it was just lovely for me personally to see. So we've got people talking about the ancestors. We are talking about herbs and potions and spirits and all of those types of mysterious things that will help the main characters who are stuck in that juke joint trying to fight vampires. It's going to help them survive. Okay? So I'm going to leave that there, because you need to experience this for yourself. The movie has a running time of 2 hours, 17 minutes, and you need to stay for the credits. So once the movie is over, you'll see some credits rolling, but don't get up and leave. Stay, because there's just a little bit more that you need to see. But I'm telling you, this movie really, really, it was good. It was good. So check out Sinners. It just came out, so you've got, plenty of time to make it to the theater to see it. All right, folks, I'm going to jump into my nailed it for this week. And my nailed it is the late, great Chadwick Boseman. And I've seen a lot of his movies, and he was just such a good actor. And the industry has really, really lost a great talent in him. Black Panther, of course. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom was the last film that he made. And then before that, Get On Up, the James Brown story. So, Chadwick Boseman is my nailed it for this week. All right, folks, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. And remember, we are available on BlueSky at HYSI. Okay, moviegoers, you know what to do. Until next week, I need you to see a movie because I'm going to see a movie. Until next week, bye-bye.